Hi, my name is Anna. I'm from Concord, Massachusetts. I just graduated from Smith College and I'm a facilitator.
Hello, my name is Elisa. I am originally from Ukraine, but I've been in the United States for almost 3 years now. I am rising junior at MIT studying computer science, and at Futures Forge, I work as a senior facilitator.
Hi there, I'm Sam. I'm a senior facilitator at Futures Forge. I just graduated from Tufts University, and I'm really excited to have spent my final 5 weeks before I start my full-time job at Futures Forge as a senior facilitator.
Hi, my name is Kelly. I'm a rising sophomore at Harvard studying applied math and economics, originally from New York, and I'm a facilitator here at Futures Forge.
It's really incredible how it changes your ability to be a leader. Through the guidance of Nat and Eric, it's really changed the way that I see and understand leadership.
My thoughts became more concise, my English improved significantly too, and just the way I communicate with people changed a lot too. And the second thing that the most, I would say, grown on is my direction in life and the maturity of thinking, just because this ecosystem makes you actually think like no any other school or system can do, and that really helps you to understand what exactly you want to do in life and what you will need to do.
I've grown immeasurably in my 10 weeks at Futures Forge. I think in one area in particular I've been focused on is the ability to receive and give both reinforcing and constructive feedback. That's really helped me understand what my areas of growth and my strengths really are. I also think working in a high-powered, quick environment, I'm able to shift and become way more adaptable on my feet. For example, this summer, I thought Futures Forge was going to look in a certain way, but there would be some days where we'd go in the morning and Eric and Nat would say, we're actually going to switch up the challenge we're doing today. And it was awesome being put in a new position where I would have to shift what I was thinking so that I could instead focus my energy on a new challenge that I hadn't heard of before and facilitate that. I've also learned a lot about having really intense, wonderful professional relationships with people who have mentored me through my time at Futures Forge, like Eric and Nat, who truly have played such a role in my development and my growth, not only as a facilitator of Futures Forge, but generally in my career as a young professional trying to learn how to grow. I also think I've learned so much about how the real world functions, having come from college where the things you learn in your classes might be really interesting, but they don't really affect your real life learning because you're not getting the skills you need to be successful. Coming into an environment like Futures Forge where they push you really hard to succeed, they make you problem solve and critically think in a whole new way.
The biggest way I've grown at Futures Forge over these past 7 weeks is learning how to prioritize process over product. I think that's been in two main ways. I think my critical thinking, for one, has improved a lot from having to do the challenges, struggling through the challenges, and then getting coaching on the challenges, and then also watching how my students have learned to become better critical thinkers has in turn inspired me to, I would definitely say, more actively think about the way that I approach problems in my daily life. I would say do it. I think that the type of people that Futures Forge attracts, very driven, very intelligent, and just overall very open, understanding people. I think being in this environment is something that's pushed me to grow. And I think that if you're considering spending a semester here, you're probably someone who has excelled in a lot of different areas of life. And this experience will show you that there's so much more growth that you have yet to experience. And that's been something that's been very rewarding for me to understand and work through.
Honestly, you're going to have a blast and you're super lucky to have that opportunity. If I could spend the rest of my life just doing Futures Forge, I probably would. I just genuinely believe this environment works so well for me. So I think a couple of things, right? Number one, you're going to learn how to think in an entirely new way. School, especially in high school and college, prepares you to think and act in one certain way. A teacher gives you an essay and you're told to write these specific things and that's what you need to do to get an A. But in the real world, like at Futures Forge, there isn't just one answer to a question. There's many. And you need to go through and figure out exactly how to come to an answer. Additionally, procrastination, where you wait and put everything on to the last minute, doesn't work anymore. You instead have to figure out a structured process to go through, and from there, with your high powered team, work together to rely on each other, rely on your strengths, give each other feedback, and build a better product together.
I think that the semester or two spent at Futures Forge can significantly accelerate the growth just because it's really open environment where you are learning every single second. Either it's from peers, either it's from your employers, or even people who you're just working with and are surrounded with. And spending the semester or two in this environment might be really, I would say, even transformative for your growth and for your understanding what you want to do in life, which is really crucially important when you're trying to figure out what you still want to do.
Thanks to Futures Forge, I think that I'm better equipped for any job that involves communication and that involves systems based thinking. So, pretty much any job. In terms of communication, I think that I really learned how to express yourself in a way that's effective, efficient, and also how to view communication as something that you're doing for others' benefit rather than your own. In terms of systems and just like operational thinking, this kind of ties back to improving efficiency, but I think this job has really pushed me to think about what are the different systems you have to put in place in order to have something run smoothly and improve rather than just, how can you work harder at something, right? So really working smarter, not harder.